So if you were trying to get the wind element rod inside of Fisch, this is exactly what we're going to be doing. So to keep this video short, I'm going to be showing you the best ways I got every single thing for it, what I would recommend, and alongside that each, individual step. So for starting off, I'll show you the steps, what I did to get it, and I'll probably do a giveaway, giving away some of the things. So first things first is starting off, we're going to head on over to the area, necessary for this. So as a quick note, you're going to need a shiny whale shark. So you're going to need if I can spell it right, this thing, you're going to need a whale shark that is blessed and shiny, which is a bit hard, and I'll show you how to get that in a second. Secondly, you're going to need a king blessing shiny pufferfish. And then finally, you're going to need a shiny big bait crate, not sparkling like this one, but shiny. And it's going to have to be exactly 12.8 kilograms. If not, the quest won't work at all. So starting off, first thing is you're going to have to use, if you don't have the traveler's whistle, then this won't be as easy, but we're going to be going over to Glacial Grotto right here. Now, if you don't have this unlocked, I do have a video on that. That is in the Northern Expedition. I will try to put that in the top right corner right now, if I can remember. Yeah, if I can remember to, after editing all this and whatnot. But check that video out if you have not and you don't know how to get there. So the next thing is going to be getting over there. So first things first is you're going to need a winter cloak, since your character will freeze to death if not. And finally, you're going to need the advanced oxygen tank. Now with these two things, you'll be able to survive up there because they have like a mechanic that makes the air thin and then a mechanic that makes you freeze to death. So you need to have both of these things. Now we're going to head up there. So I'm going to use the traveler's whistle just to get up there and make it faster. Teleport Glacial Grotto. Boom. Come on over. Shabam, we're here. Now the quest is going to be this way. So you're just going to jump around, jump to use your glider, and we're going to head on this way. I'm going to just climb up here, climb up this thing, climb up this ladder. I don't know. I think this ladder literally just doesn't work for some reason, which doesn't really make sense, but you're going to talk to this Windmaster right here. Now this Windmaster, you're going to do the first quest, right? You'll just come up here and boom, the Windmaster's right here. Wow. It's so peaceful up here, isn't it? No, it's really not. Oh, well, love the wind. In fact, I have a secret to tell you, right? You'll just click through this. You jap. Okay. I'll be back as soon as I can. Okay. Now for the third quest, if you're up here. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing this one right here. Bring a shiny blessed whale shark to the Windmaster. So I have the whale shark. Boom. This one right here. I'm going to talk to him. Welcome back. You have completed my task. Yes, here you go. Boom. You've unlocked the wind elemental. I'm very impressed. I didn't think you would be able to do this. Props to you. You're a real fisher as a reward of your valiant efforts. I will give you the will element, but remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Use the power of the mighty sword wisely. Thanks, master. And whatever that symbol is. I don't know if you can talk back to him because that dialogue just seems to stay right there, but now we have the wind elemental rod. Now, as a quick note, if you want to get best value out of this rod, genuinely something I would recommend doing is the need to get the shiny blessed whale shark. People need that tremendously, and people are willing to give so much for it. And if you're willing to spend the time, as you see, may slash with colors of the wind. So during a windy weather, right, there's going to be a 50% progress speed during that. Now, what makes this rod really broken is it actually has a 25% chance to get the breezed mutation, which is pretty broken. Now, one thing to note is I would recommend grinding. Once you have this rod, you're set, but still grinding for using the seraphic rod and grinding to get the whale shark. So the recommendation for that I'll go over in a second. Now for the next part, we're going to be going over the best ways to do each individual quest. Now for the first quest, which is going to be getting the shiny big bait crate, obviously, there's one and only area you should really go to get this. And so I'm going to grab me boat real fast. So we're going to be using one specific rod. Now I would recommend using the destiny rod if you have that. If not, then you don't. Realistically, that's it. The destiny rod is, I think, only really achievable. Whoa, that is weird. Okay. So yeah, the destiny rod, to get that, I think you have to have 75% of the entire bestiary completed, or 70% of the entire bestiary, which does take a while, but not really. And if you want to use a macro to make that way easier, you can click the video that should be in the top right now, obviously, if I remember to put it there. Now we're going to be fishing in this spot right here using the destiny rod. Now I would recommend using the destiny rod with these enchants, blessed and overclocked. And if not overclocked, realistically, blessed and glittered, if you can get both of them. And this is going to make it to where, you can have really high chances. And the reason why we're using this one is it has a 10% higher chance to get shiny and sparkling. Then you have blessed, which is another 5%. And then you have glittered, which is another 3%. So in total, you'll have an 18 50% or higher chance to get something shiny. And then, you know, obviously then you can use a totem to make that extra 3%. So you're gonna have over 20% chance to get it. Now, the next thing is you're gonna want to use trash bait. So trash bait is gonna make it to where, you know, you really only get that. And once again, the overall recommendation is that. But once again, with these things in mind, you're gonna get really common other crap besides just the crate. But realistically, if you just use the macro or just do it yourself manually, after enough time, you know, you'll get it and you'll be fine. But next thing is going to be the second quest. So the second quest is the Shiny King's Blessing Pufferfish. Now, I was able to AFK because I was helping one of my buddies get this, right? And I was AFKing and I was like, oh yeah, you know, he's trying to get this, so I might as well help him out, because he gave me a Wrath Skyla as like a trade-off. And I ended up catching, I think it was like 5 over 6 hours of AFKing. So realistically, this thing is not hard to get. And then the best thing is I was able to go and take those to trade for boats and stuff. So, I mean, realistically, you know, it's not too bad of a deal. Now, the next thing is going to be, once you want to get it, obviously, the only real way you can get a pufferfish is you're going to come over here. And if you use the fish radar, as you can see right here, the pufferfish zone is right here. So you're going to fish right here, and you're going to be using the Poseidon rod. So the Poseidon rod with the blessed enchant is going to be your best bet. Now, obviously, you can get glittered during a shiny surge, and that'll give you higher chances. But realistically, you really only need blessed. And once again, just go AFK, come back, you'll have, you know, at least one. And then for bait, I would recommend using, since the pufferfish prefers, as you can see, it's an ocean type. So if you go to the ocean, the pufferfish, as you see, the pufferfish likes seaweed. So seaweed on top of the Poseidon rod is going to put it at like a 70% lure speed. So you won't really have to click too much, and then just literally AFK it at that point, and you'll get plenty of progress. Now, the next thing for this though is, yeah, once again, you'll get plenty of them and you can AFK them. Now, the next thing is getting the whale shark. So I have a full in-depth guide on how to get this and the best way to get it, which once again will be at the top right here if you're gonna click it. But overall, I would recommend these few things. Once again, use the Seraphic Rod with Blessed and Glitter. That's gonna give you the best chances of getting this during a shiny surge. And as you might know, if you didn't know this already, the whale shark and great hammerhead shark and the great white shark, right? These have different seasons that they spawn in. So the great hammerhead spawns during spring, the great white spawns during autumn, and the whale shark spawns during summer and autumn. So it's currently spring. That means that the great hammerhead shark cannot spawn in at all. But what this does tell us is winter means no shark event will start during winter. And finally, after that, not only will no thing spawn during winter, but the whale shark actually has 2 different seasons they can spawn in during. I believe seasons are about 6 hours long or so. Now, the next thing to note is you can check which season. So obviously I'd recommend doing this during summer, but if you look at the official wiki, you can see the seasons, and summer starts in 5 hours, which is at, for my time, 3 p.m. So means I got to wait till 3 p.m. before, you know, I can actually even have a fighting chance to get one. And then next is they prefer shrimp bait. So you'll use shrimp bait, right? So you'll use shrimp, use the Seraphic Rod, and then you'll do what's called, I call it fail safing. I don't think it's really called that. But what this means is pretty much what's going to happen is something's going to spawn in, right? And instead of, you know, just fully catching it, say if you get the whale shark and just instead of catching it, you're actually just going to fail it if it's not the correct one. You know, it's glowing and all that. So whenever you see one that looks glowing like this, there's either a chance it's blessed or that's pretty much it. So it's going to be most likely blessed. And if I look at the whale sharks that I do have, right, I have this one, I'm going to unselect all these because I'm probably going to sell them. But like Blightened, you can tell if it's not. A normal one looks like this. Select looks like this. Albino looks white. Subspace, right? You'll be able to tell if it's the correct one easily just off of how it looks while you're catching it. And if simply put it, if it's not the correct one, just fail to catch it and go and catch it again, right? And then the next thing is if you do have these potions, glitched potions, I'd recommend using them. Glitched potions just duplicate anything you catch within 10 minutes. So if you want one of those, or if you want any of the fish from the track, comment which one you want, comment your Roblox username, and leave a like. But once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.